Do you ever feel the manly urge to settle a feudal kingdom in a foreign land, taming and shaping it in the process to fit the ever-growing needs of your colony? Have you ever imagined how it would feel like to see your small village rise to power and dominate its region by military and economic might? Do you even have what it takes to be a medieval administrator? Kingdoms and Castles is a colony simulator indie game made by what feels like three dudes in their father's shed. It's a relatively short and basic game with not a whole lot to offer. However, what it does have is executed brilliantly, which can also be seen in its Steam review score. Essentially, Kingdoms and Castles is something akin to Banished, meaning it emulates the same medieval settler feel in an unexplored frontier. What it does differently, however, is that the survival of your people is hardly a challenge, as the people multiply like rabbits. The challenge comes instead from the constant attacks you are facing from the two mortal enemies of any European settler, dragons and Vikings. This means that you have to put up some walls and defenses if you want to survive, making the game share half of its DNA with Stronghold Crusader. You start with just your keep and some settlers, and your goal is to turn it into a sprawling kingdom. The growth is gradual, meaning you have to start with the bare essentials, food, wood, and housing, but eventually you will see your citizens' demand for entertainment, in the form of theatre and jousting, culture, meaning libraries and churches, and sanitation, in the form of bathhouses. What I enjoy the most about this game is the sense of big project management you feel, be it by cutting down a forest to make room for a new residential area, or collecting loads of stone to make an aqueduct-fueled irrigation system for your new farmlands. The relatively easy difficulty of the game makes it absolutely perfect for relaxation, as there is nothing better in the world than watching your kingdom slowly sprawl over the landscape. However, while the game might be fun and well designed, the achievements are unfortunately a bit of a letdown. It seems and feels like they haven't been updated from the first release, or something, as they are incredibly basic. They can all be accomplished in one go, which is something I enjoy in games, but that doesn't mean there's always something to do. Basically, your only objective is to grow your kingdom to the population of 5,000, that is it. Most other achievements only lead up to it, marking milestones on the way, or mark things you would have done anyway. For example, one achievement is to slay a dragon, which you will be doing always anyway at the end of the game, if you have built any kinds of defenses really. Same with the ogres. While they might be obstructive in the beginning, killing them is a pretty easy feat. In fact, the biggest challenge in the endgame is lag, unless you have a good PC, as optimizing the simulation of 5,000 little dudes walking around and going on with the daily life as an indie developer is no small feat. Despite the low difficulty of the achievements, there are still some tips I can share with you guys before you start with your journey in Kingdoms and Castles. First of all, when starting, I recommend using the New Lands mod on the workshop, as with it, you can increase the map size in the beginning. I recommend it, as by using it, you don't have to optimize every single building in your kingdom to be able to fit 5,000 people in the small base game map. If you prefer to go vanilla nonetheless, do pick the largest map size, and don't pick the island's map type. In it might seem that you can colonize other islands for additional growth room, but in reality they turn into new cities once you reach them, making them useless for the 5,000 pop challenge. In a non-island map, you can expand as far as you want, as far as I know, without creating a new city. When choosing a location, make sure you have good access to stone and iron. Fertile land is almost everywhere, same with woods, and fish can be substituted with pigs, but stone and iron are irreplaceable. If there are two of them together in any one place, that's good, build near there. Out of the two, stone is far more important however. Iron is more of a late game resource, so if you happen to be far from it, you can just build a highway to transport it to your city with carts. After playing a while, you might be wondering where the ogres are and how to get them. The answer is to wall up your entire city. If you have anything on the coast, fret not, you have piers you can use without having to destroy anything. The only real hindrance is the deep water tiles, which are pretty annoying, as you have to build around them completely. However, you should be able to get a wall around yourself pretty easily. The reason you want to do this is that as far as I know, Vikings only bring ogres if they feel like your fortifications are too strong to burn down by hand. Ogres themselves aren't too difficult to kill. If you do have trouble, make sure to build a lot of ballista towers in the sections where they tend to attack, as they do a lot of single entity damage. This also makes them really good at downing dragons. Make sure to upgrade them at the Great Library for extra damage. The Tower of Babel achievement is bugged, as of editing this video, and can therefore be cheesed really easily. Basically, you want to gather a lot of stone and pause the game. Then, build a 2x1 size tower and keep stacking as high as possible. You don't have to unpause, as the tower does not have to be completed in order for the achievement to drop. Just stack the tower as long as you get the achievement. Simple. To get population fast, build town squares. I found the meta to be to constantly be running festivals from 2 of them, as you get diminishing returns from having too many festivals at the same time. However, I only started using this method in the very end, as I was really enjoying taking things slow and role-playing my colony. This also means that the achievements can be achieved in a lot less time than 14 hours, as I did take my time. Just keep in mind to keep your food production growing along with the population. And yeah, that is about it for the tips. You will learn most of the game just by playing, especially considering how forgiving it really is. There is no reason to start out on the harder difficulties, there are no achievements for it, so I recommend an easy one to make learning the game more forgiving. So, I think that while the game is fun, the achievements really need improvement. There could certainly be a lot more achievements added without increasing the overall difficulty. For example, there could be an achievement for researching all the technologies in the Great Library, building your army up to a certain number, or for creating a colony that exceeds the mainland in population. Also, the game added a system for other AI nations and diplomacy after launch, which is not utilized in the achievements in the slightest. When it comes to the art of achievements, the game is lacking as well, as the pictures are just screenshots from the game. The names are good though. Overall, AD tier. For such a great game, they could certainly do better. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, humans. Bye.